The morning sun slowly entered the small room through a dusty window. The sound of traffic, people talking, and phones ringing filled the air outside. But inside the room, there was only silence. A young person sat near the table with a notebook open in front of them, staring at a long list of unfinished tasks. Every day started with motivation, but by afternoon, the energy disappeared. Hours were wasted scrolling on the phone, thinking too much, and jumping from one thing to another without completing anything. At night, there was always regret. The mind became heavy with disappointment because deep inside there was a strong dream waiting to become real. The problem was not intelligence. The problem was focus. Every day felt like a battle between dreams and distractions were winning again and again. One evening, after another unproductive day, something finally changed. There was no dramatic moment, no loud speech, and no miracle. There was only a quiet realization. Success does not come from working hard once in a while. Success comes from protecting your focus every single day. The next morning began differently. Instead of touching the phone immediately after waking up, the notebook was opened first. A simple question was written on the first page. What truly matters today? At first, the answer was unclear, but slowly one important task appeared in the mind. Only one. Not 10 tasks. Not a huge, impossible plan. Just one meaningful thing that needed full attention. For the first time in a long while, there was no pressure to become perfect overnight. The goal was only to stay focused on one thing at a time. The phone was placed far away on a shelf. Notifications were turned off. The room felt strangely calm. The first 30 minutes were difficult because the mind wanted entertainment. It wanted easy pleasure and quick distraction. But something powerful happened after resisting the urge to quit. The mind slowly became quieter. Thoughts became clearer. Work started moving forward. It was not fast or magical, but it was steady. By the end of the day, one important task was completely finished. That small victory created a feeling that had been missing for a long time. Confidence. Days continued to pass, and a new understanding started growing stronger. Focus is not something people are born with. It is something people train every day. Just like muscles become stronger through exercise, concentration becomes stronger through practice. The world is full of distractions designed to steal attention. Social media, endless videos, unnecessary conversations, negative thoughts, and constant comparison can easily destroy a person's ability to focus. Most people lose their energy before even beginning important work because their attention is scattered everywhere. But the mind performs best when it is calm and directed toward one clear purpose. Little by little, new habits were created. Mornings became quieter. Work sessions became deeper. Breaks became shorter and more intentional. Instead of trying to do everything at once, time was divided carefully. There was now a clear understanding that focus is not about doing more things. Focus is about ignoring what does not matter. One afternoon, while walking through a crowded market, something interesting became clear. Hundreds of people were moving in different directions. Some looked stressed. Some looked lost. Some were speaking loudly on phones while rushing from one place to another. Everyone seemed busy, but not everyone seemed productive. Busyness and focus are not the same thing. Many people spend their entire lives moving without direction. They react to every message, every opinion, and every distraction around them. Their minds never rest. But truly focused people are different. They know where they are going. They do not allow every small thing to control their attention. They protect their mental energy because they understand that attention is life itself. Wherever focus goes, energy follows. And wherever energy flows consistently, results eventually appear. As weeks passed, another challenge appeared. Some days were full of motivation, but other days felt empty and difficult. On those difficult days, the temptation to quit returned strongly. The mind whispered dangerous thoughts like, "You can do it tomorrow," or "One lazy day does not matter." But experience slowly taught an important lesson. The hardest days are the most important days to stay focused. Anyone can work when they feel inspired. Real growth happens when discipline becomes stronger than emotions. There were mornings when concentration felt impossible, yet the work still continued little by little. Even one focused hour became valuable. Those small moments of discipline started building inner strength. Slowly, consistency replaced excuses. The person no longer waited for perfect motivation because action itself started creating motivation. One rainy evening, electricity suddenly disappeared in the neighborhood. The room became dark and silent. There was no internet, no videos, and no entertainment. At first, boredom appeared immediately. But after sitting quietly for some time, a surprising peace entered the mind. A candle was lit on the table, and the notebook was opened once again. In that silence, thoughts became clearer than ever before. The mind realized how noisy modern life had become. Constant information was exhausting the brain every day. People rarely sat alone with their own thoughts anymore. They were always consuming something. But focus requires silence. A distracted mind cannot think deeply. That night became unforgettable because it revealed a powerful truth. Sometimes the best way to improve focus is not by adding more techniques, but by removing unnecessary noise. Months later, life looked completely different. The dreams that once felt impossible were slowly becoming real. Work was improving. Confidence was stronger. Stress was lower. The biggest change was not external success, but internal control. There was finally control over attention, emotions, and time. That control created peace. Problems still existed, and difficult days still came, but distractions no longer controlled every moment. The ability to sit down and focus deeply became a superpower in a world filled with endless interruptions. Friends started noticing the difference. Some asked, "How did everything change so much?" The answer was simple but powerful. Everything changed after learning to protect focus every single day. One important realization stayed in the heart forever. Most people think success comes from talent, luck, or intelligence. But often success comes from something much simpler: the ability to stay focused when others become distracted. Small daily improvements create massive results over time. Reading a few pages every day builds knowledge. Practicing a skill every day builds mastery. Saving small amounts of money every day builds wealth. Staying focused every day builds an extraordinary life. The secret is not intensity for one day. The secret is consistency for many days. As another sunrise entered the room one peaceful morning, the notebook was opened again. The same question was written on the page: what truly matters today? But this time, the answer came quickly and clearly. There was no confusion anymore because the mind had learned an important skill. Focus is not about forcing yourself to work endlessly. It is about choosing what matters most and giving it your full attention. Day after day, that simple habit can transform an ordinary life into something meaningful. The world will always offer distractions. Noise will always exist. But people who learn to guard their attention carefully will continue moving forward while others remain stuck. In the end, focus is not only the key to productivity. It is the key to becoming the person you truly want to become.